Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us all salvation and blessing. Thanks to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala because we are still given health, favor to be here. Don't forget salawat and greeting for our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam who taught their people goodness. On this change, I will present my paper with the title Al-Ajrumiyah Learning by Using Mnemonic Strategies. Learning Arabic without the knowledge of Nahu cannot be understood. Al-Ajrumiyah book is one of the books used in studying Arabic grammar. In order to make learning more interesting and easier for students, teachers need to be more creative and innovative in determining learning strategies, one of which is mnemonics. So, in this article, it is to explain the various techniques contained in mnemonic strategies that can be used in Al-Ajrumiyah learning. With this strategy, it is hoped that Al-Ajrumiyah's boarding teachers can create more interesting learning activities and increase students' motivation in learning. Then, this study can be used as a reference for other researchers to carry out further research. As the language of Islam, learning Arabic is very important, especially for Muslims. Learning Arabic is actually enough to learn 4 language skills. However, apart from these 4 skills, there are some rules that we need to pay attention to. Especially in knowledge of Arabic, this knowledge of Nahu is an important element to learn. One of the books that study Nahu is the book Al-Ajrumiyah. According to Corey, learning is the process of consciously managing a person's environment, enabling him to participate in behavior under certain conditions or respond to certain situations. And the purpose of learning and teaching foreign languages is for students to achieve communicative abilities both inside and outside the classroom. To help students understand the materials introduced and the learning objective to be achieved ideally, an appropriate learning strategy is needed. One of the learning strategies that can be used is the mnemonic strategy. The author will discuss the mnemonic strategies that can be used in Al-Ajrumiyah learning. The discussion will begin by describing the mnemonic learning strategy, then the concept of Al-Ajrumiyah learning using the mnemonic strategy. This resource is based on literature review, which aims to describe Al-Ajrumiyah learning by using mnemonic strategies, and the data sources that the author uses are books and journals related to the study in this paper. And then the result and discussion in this paper is firstly, Al-Ajrumiyah learning using mnemonic strategies. Gagna, Briggs, and Wager explain that learning is a series of affective that affect learning or students so that the learning process can take place smoothly. Al-Ajrumiyah is a basic book that discusses the science of Nahu, written by Abu Abdillah Muhammad bin Daud Hasan Haji. To facilitate the teaching of Al-Ajrumiyah, an effective and efficient strategy is needed, one of which is the mnemonic strategy. Mnemonic is strategies used to stimulate a person's memory. And secondly, Al-Ajrumiyah learning concept using mnemonic. According to the perspective of the Shah, the techniques in various mnemonic strategies, but the more dominant are rhyme, abbreviation, the word pack, the loci method, and keyword system. Firstly, a rhyme, which contains words and terms that students need to remember, is made rhythmically. For example, al-kalamu huwa al-lafdul murakkabul mufidu bil wad'i wa aqsamuhu thalathatun ismu wa fi'lu wa harfun jali ma'na. The stanza above can be given a rhythm so that learning is more fun and it is easier for students to remember the materials they receive. And then about abbreviations, which consist of terms that students need to remember. In this technique, the teacher prepares the materials, then the materials is formed into an abbreviation. Example, when the teacher teaches materials about various isms in terms of the number of individuals or persons, namely the isim mufrad, musanna, and jama'. So it can be formed an abbreviation mu-mujam. Mu for isim mufrad, and second mu for musanna, and the last ja is jama'. And then about the word pack is a technique as a new memory hub by utilizing the parts that have been arranged and made in pairs. For example, when the teacher wants to teach about two types of isim muzakkar and isim musanna, the teacher forms the word into a pair of man and woman, meaning that man saw isim muzakkar while woman saw isim musanna. And then the loci method is the use of a well-known and firm location as an instrument for allocating information that students need to remember. For example, regarding the material of Asma'ul Khamsa, namely the five isim, which have special characteristics that are not found in other isms. The names are Abun, Akhun, Hamun, Fudum. To remember the materials using the loci technique, you can use five finger as an allocation. Based on the picture above, students can remember and understand the type of Asma'ul Khamsah by looking at their five fingers. That the thumb for Abun, index finger for Akhun, middle finger for Hamun, ring finger for Fu, and the little finger for Du. And then the keyword system, an example of the use of this word when the teacher mentions the words Duma, Wawu, Alif, and Nun, which are signs of Rafa. The students are given a keyword to remember in the form of the name Rafa. And then the last conclusion, based on the results and discussion above, it can be concluded that the Al-Ajrumiyah book is one of the most important reference books in learning the science of Nahu. In learning to make it easier for students to understand and remember the materials that has been taught, what of the learning strategies, namely mnemonics, can be used. This strategy has a variety of techniques that can be used as stated by Shah, namely rhymes, abbreviation, the work page, loci method, and keyword systems. These techniques can be used alone or in combination, as well as adapted to the material to be delivered. That's all from me. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.